Well, this morning is the 16th of March, and we're leaving Nassau. There's the Atlantis Resort with the sun coming up behind. I think it's going to be a nice day. As we're headed on our way to Royal Island, it's going to be an all-day trip. Well, it's a beautiful day out here, a nice day to be traveling from Nassau to Royal Island. I gave the bearings in the main track slides, dousing of boiling water yesterday, because that's supposed to be a good way of getting the salt out of them and freeing them up again. But it didn't seem to do any good. The bearings just feel really dry, so I've spritzed them with WD-40, and that seems to have make them feel like they're moving more. We've got the sails down now. The wind is just too light to worry about them. It's traveling along at 2,000 RPM. And we should be there in a couple hours. Land's starting to appear on the horizon. Another bit of interesting news today was that the motor suddenly, about 2 hours ago, started making kind of a shuddery sound, and then there was a lot of vibration. So I figured I'd probably picked up something on the propeller. I'm looking over the back, and sure enough I can see something following us about 30 feet back. So anyway, I throttled right down, and then I could see that it was a long line, plus a couple of fishermen's floats came popping up out of the water after that, about 35 feet back. So I had to strip down, get my mask and snorkel and fins on, and I had a sharp kitchen knife at the ready just in case I had to do some cutting. But it was a loose wrap, and I just was able to unwind it off the propeller. After about 10 to 15 ducks underneath the boat, got it all off, and it's now sitting inside the dinghy because it smells, so as it dries. So anyway, that's a little bit of news and excitement that happened. Fortunately, it's a very calm day today, so as you can see, so it wasn't a difficult job. And the water actually is quite warm. It's still about 29 degrees. The air, though, was at the time was about 21, and so it was chilly. And I've still got a sweater on now, and quite comfortable at the moment. So we're heading for Royal Harbor on Royal Island. Stay there tonight, and then the winds appear to be saying that the forecast saying that we're going to have good southerly wind, about 15 knots, for the crossing to the Abacos from the area of the north tip of Eleuthera. And so tomorrow I'm just going to position myself at a staging area close to the beginning of the deep water, and then very early in the morning, I guess as soon as dawn comes, I'll be off on Monday for the Abacos. And this is Royal Harbor at Royal Island. It's a very picturesque little spot, very quiet, and no waves at all to be concerned about. The name actually comes from real, the Spanish coin, apparently, but it's been corrupted to royal. Yeah, so I will stay here at least one night, possibly two, until we get our good southerly wind on Monday to make the trip up to the Abacos. Well, I've come ashore briefly for a little walking exercise on Royal Island, and there's the boat and a neighbor. The only two other boats that are left here out of about 20 boats. There's also a cruiser up in the north end, or the I should say the east end of the anchorage. But everybody else has moved on. This is a stop that people make just when they're on the way to the Exumas. Very protected, lovely spot. Some sort of a construction site here, but there doesn't appear to be anybody around. Anyway, some foundations being dug here. Looks like they have plans for this place. There used to be ruins which are over here, and I'm hoping that this little road will take me over there to take a look at those ruins. Apparently this was about 50 years ago quite a plantation here, so we'll see if we can get there from here. And with the lack of a north wind today, it's warming up nicely here. I'm thinking it's going to be a nice warm day. And decided to move over to a lee anchorage at Egg Harbor. Or not Egg Harbor, but Egg Island. It's just an anchorage off the western shore of Egg Island. And that'll give me a good straight shot up for my next passage on Monday that I'm expecting to have 15-knot winds from the south for, and that is to head up to Great Abaco Island and a anchorage which is just at the mouth of Little Harbor. I won't be able to get into scenic and must-see Little Harbor because I won't have the high tide unless I want to wait till 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'll go over on Tuesday into Little Harbor with a dinghy and see if it's worth waiting for the high tide around 2 o'clock in the afternoon to go in. Something tells me I think a dinghy ride to take a look will do the trick. A nice concrete road. And coming across the ruins here. And tile floor. Yeah, ruins here are quite extensive actually. This is an interesting little place. It's got a chimney on this thing. Oh, and that's a sink. This is like a cooking house. Alright. A small little cooking house. Looks like they used to have shelves here. Looks like that might have been a shower in the corner. So that might have been the house with the water. Wow. Look at that fireplace. I guess a pantry. Yeah, it looks like these niches here were places where they could put food in to slow cook, I guess. That'd be my guess, anyway. It's always curious to see such history. Makes you feel a little somber. You know, the temporariness of everything. This was somebody's place. Quite important to someone at some time. And a beautiful patio here, looking over the bay, and another customer sailing in. I wonder if they farmed sisal here or something like that. Well, there's more buildings. This one's quite large. stairs down to the dock. Well, interesting. Time, I guess, to pass on to Egg Island now. Well, I've moved over here to Egg Island, a little lee anchorage on the northwest side of Egg Harbor, or Egg Island, and I wanted to show you the water here and my surroundings, because this is just incredible. I'm sorry I haven't bought a polarizing filter yet for this camera, but I have to do that next time I'm here in the Bahamas, because this is just incredible. The watercolor, especially through my Polaroid glasses, varies from the darkest, deepest indigo near the horizon out there through to a luminescent ultramarine. See if you can pick any of that up. I don't think it's possible to see a lot of that, unfortunately, but there, you get a little hint of it there anyway. And then it goes to a darker, dirtier color of water, and then into this jade green and aquamarine. It's just incredible. And the surroundings here have got to be some of the nicest that I've seen. This is just a little lee anchorage. It's not very popular. There were, I saw about 4 boats here yesterday, and there may be more today. It's hard to say. The day is young. It's still, it's only 1:30 in the afternoon. People are traveling. This island here, it looks as if it's pretty well uninhabited. It's got a lovely little beach over there. And as you can see, we're floating above this carpet of gorgeous sand. It's about 8 feet deep underneath me, so a couple of feet under the 2.5 feet under the keel. And at low water, we'll have about about a little less than that, maybe 2 feet less than that. Anyway, just enough to float us anyway. I calculated on the way over I had to have about 7 feet minimum, and I've got 8 feet now, so. Always got to keep an eye on that sort of thing when you're here. If you're at high water and you anchor somewhere in 6 feet of water, you're going to touch. But in 8 feet, I'm fine. I'll still have half a foot of water underneath me at low water. And so anyway, this is just magnificent. I'm going to have a little rum drink to celebrate being here. And who knows, it might be nice if nobody else comes. I'm going to have this whole place to myself. Anyway, tomorrow I'll be up early. I expect to leave around dawn, or maybe slightly before that if I feel motivated. And the wind should be good. The wind should increase later today, up to 15 knots. This will still be a nice lee anchorage. It shouldn't get rough here at all. And that'll push us all the way up to Great Abaco. And this will be the last video of this movie. Next movie carries on in the Abacos.